At its core, on a subliminal level, the Nike swoosh silhouette is a visual representation of motion and speed. Also referred to as the Nike tick, Nike check, and other nicknames, swoosh itself is an onomatopoeia evoking imagery of a sprinter flying off the block. Today, Nike is the world's leading manufacturer of sports equipment, footwear, and apparel, sponsoring many of the world's top athletes like LeBron James and Cristiano Ronaldo, and the brand's unmistakable swoosh logo is surely a pillar of Nike's past and future success. In this video, we dig into the origin story of the iconic Nike swoosh. Nike's roots are at the University of Oregon, where track coach Bill Bowerman enlisted the help of student Phil Knight with the aim of creating and developing a new track spike. In January 1964, the duo founded Blue Ribbon Sports, which primarily distributed Onitsuka Tiger footwear from Japan into the United States. It wasn't until 1971 that the brand was formed as we know it today. The name Nike was adopted at this time as a reference to the Greek goddess of victory. Not able to sustain himself purely on the income he was making from his business, Phil Knight was teaching an accounting class on the side at Portland State University, where he met Carolyn Davidson. Knight first offered to pay her to mock up charts and graphs to show during presentations and meetings, which subsequently turned into more work for Davidson, who was eventually commissioned by Knight to create a design that suggested movement. Davidson created at least a half-dozen concepts. She worked by sketching potential logos out by hand on tissue paper and laying them over a drawing of a shoe, racking up about 17.5 hours on creating the swoosh. At the time, Knight was under pressure from several deadlines as shoeboxes in Mexico were waiting to be printed with a logo, which he did not yet have. Knight grabbed her rendering of the swoosh, telling Davidson, "I don't love it. Maybe it'll grow on me." Davidson invoiced Knight a $35 fee for the swoosh design, a rate of roughly $2 per hour, and then continued to design for the company, creating ads, brochures, posters, and catalogs. The company's growth was exponential, and they quickly reached a point when Davidson alone could no longer handle Nike's advertising needs. Long after the swoosh became Nike's official logo in September 1983, Knight gave Davidson a golden swoosh ring with an embedded diamond and some Nike stock. According to the US Patent Office, the first use of the Nike name and the swoosh design trademark in commerce took place on June 18, 1971. The first full line of Nike footwear was released in 1972. Over time, the swoosh logo was remixed slightly with different graphic treatments and fonts, but has largely stayed the same over nearly 50 years. The popular phrase, "just do it," wasn't coined until later in 1988. Since those early days, the Nike swoosh has gone on to become one of the most globally recognized and trusted marks in any industry. If you like this video on the history of the Nike swoosh, hit subscribe, leave a comment, and share with a friend. For more on sneakers and streetwear, head to highsnobiety.com.